Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And this is a historical episode. This is the first we're recording transatlantically, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Transatlantic podcast.
Yes. Because I am. This is new. It's still, of course, because as you can tell by my accent, that's not going away anytime soon. As Tim commented earlier, he questioned if I was going to lose my New York accent. I don't think I will. So the Civil War theme will still stay. I am still born in New York, so that can't change. You know, it's not going to be like. Anything. We decided, though, Tim and I discussed, we're going to now use that Jody Messina song, Heads Carolina, Tails California, as our theme song, I think. We decided that might be
If we don't get sued, yeah.
Well, you know, maybe we can find like a Muzak version of it, you know? Or maybe Jeff Whitmire could do a parody of it, but for us, like something
we do one of those things where they want to get around copyright, so they just change like some of the chords slightly, but you can tell it's the same song. Yeah,
we could do that, or we could like make it horror themed and like Beheaded Carolina, like, you know, or something. Entrails California, or something like that. You know, we'll do something weird. You know, we'll figure it out. We always do.
Yeah, the Crypt Keepers sing it too.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that voice in a while.
But yeah, this is going to be kind of a weird dismemberment because number one, we were a week late on it.
Yeah, that was Tim and I were so good. Like, it's mostly my fault because I was, you know, trying just to adjust here. That like we're so worried about like trying to fit in like our regular summers, like and get that back on track that we literally forgot the dismemberment.
But at the same time, once Brian got settled, I ended up getting a new computer. Yeah. So I wasn't ready because I didn't have any of my Civil Gore stuff. I didn't have any of my intro files, none of the music. I didn't have the editing software set up. So I was out of sorts. So by the time we both got on the same page, it was like, oh, man, we missed it by a week. But then we started looking at the dismemberment for August, and it was going to be like 30-some titles. And I was like, oh, my God, we can't do this and film and record our regular episode like we need to get back on track. So what we're going to do is we're going to record the first half, and then mid-August we'll release the second half. I think August 22nd is when the second half will come out.
Yeah.
And that's like a backload. Vinegar Syndrome dumped all their titles again this month, so they dumped them all at the end of the month. So there's like half the titles are in the last week.
Yeah, and good news, the first week is essentially re-releases anyway.
Yeah,
so you didn't miss anything new this first week. It's just total 4K upgrades.
Yeah, you know, you didn't miss a lot. There's only 2 titles for the first week of August, so.
I mean, they're good titles. They're just not ones that haven't been released before. Like we've had Razorback on here and Nightbreed. Oh, we'll get to it, I guess. But there's a spoiler alert of everything.
Spoiler alert.
Obviously, I'm out of practice. But yeah, no. The good thing is though, it's like now that I'm settled, I don't think there'll be any kind of those massive interruptions like there was. So we definitely do appreciate all the patience. Because I know that was like one of our most like this last like really like 5 months has been erratic for us. But it should be settled a lot better now. But
I'm kind of excited. Like it was like rejuvenating because we kind of got a break. I know you didn't get a break from moving and stuff, Brian, but you kind of got a break from the podcast, and we kind of like were able to like I got a new computer, which is going to help a lot with editing and recording. So I kind of feel like rejuvenated and refreshed and like ready to get things back on track going into haunt season.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. So I think it'll pay off in the long run.
And we have that bonus thing, which I think we definitely need to do now, as kind of like a gift back to that we discussed, like that little fall treat that we decided to do. And then and actually Jeff Whitmire reminded us, he posted a tweet about he's doing that Horror 365, and he says he can't wait till October because he could double up by doing that along with our horror challenge. And I'm like, oh my God, that's right. I need to start getting together and start prepping that horror challenge. It's coming. It'll be here before you know it.
Definitely. Yeah. I was going through some old files today and seeing past horror challenges, and I'm like, God, how am I going to find stuff I haven't seen before? But I'll somehow find a way.
Oh, I mean, probably Tubi alone. You could probably do the whole challenge on Tubi.
Yeah, probably so. All right, well, let's get right into it. This is the first week of August. Again, only 2 titles. We're going to skip our pick of the week and go right into Umbrella Entertainment, Their release of Razorback 4K. This one actually came out on August 4th. It was a little late.
Just like us, see?
Release.
So
yeah.
it helped us out a bit.
This one's from 1984, if you haven't seen it. A wild, vicious pig terrorizes the Australian outback. The first victim is a small child who is killed. The child's granddad is brought to trial for killing the child, but acquitted. The next victim is an American TV journalist. Her husband, Carl, gets there and starts to search for the truth. The local inhabitants won't really help him, but he is joined by a hunter and a female farmer to find the beast. And
Who did that synopsis, by the way?
Now that you know the whole movie, you don't have to watch the film.
Yeah, that synopsis sounds like if you asked a fourth grader, though, kind of like, hey, what happened in this movie you saw? Like, well, wild, ferocious pig terrorized the outback, and the first was a small child who's killed. And then the child's granddad's brought to, it's such youthful enthusiasm out of that.
Yeah. This one does have some good extras. It has a exclusively restored in 4K by Umbrella Entertainment back in 2018. New audio commentary with Michael and Peter Spierig. Audio commentary with director Russell Mulcahy.
Yeah,
Mulcahy.
I only know that
Armstrong.
because there was a bar in Long Island called Mulcahy's.
Mulcahy. That one threw me for a little bit. Audio interview with actor Gregory Harrison. Jaws on Trotters, featuring interviews with director Russell Mulcahy, producer Hal McElroy, Razorback creator Bob McCarran, composer Iva Davies, and cast Judy Morris and Chris Haywood. Extended interviews with cast and crew from Mark Hartley's Not Quite Hollywood. Razorback, the VHS cut, the original uncut 4:3 Australian home video version. A Certain Piggish Nature, looking back at Razorback with film historians Lee Gambin, Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, Sally Christie, and Emma Westwood. There's some new ones in there, right, Brian?
Yeah, the first two are the old hack, Not that they're bad. They're just, it's like... Lee Gambin, he's the one that he becomes Eeyore when he's alone and he's kind of depressed. But when he's teamed up with John Harrison, they become two wild and crazy guys. And then they always come in a pair though in wacky costumes and outfits, and they put the fun in film historian. I don't know how that even works. Now that I'm reading it aloud, I don't know where we thought that was working. But yeah, he's not with John Harrison today, but he's with three other people. So I don't know how Eeyore-ish he'd be. I think he'd be a little bit, upbeat, especially because he's got Alexander Heller-Nicholas. Is that supposed to be Alexandra?
It's Alexandra, yeah.
Yeah, why did I put Alexander by mistake there? But anyway, it's Alexandra. I think it auto-corrected. She's the saucy little minx. It's Karen Black from Trilogy of Terror kind of vibe there. Miss Davis from Varsity Blues. She looks like a meek school teacher but has a naughty dark side, hot for teacher. Now, the two new ones, though, are Sally Christie, and I said I did a little digging, and she's known for her unique and vivacious greetings that her peers nicknamed her Salutations. And she's also very generous around the holidays, also garnering the other nickname, Sally Christmas. So
very nice.
Yeah, sorry, these are not. I mean, you got to remember, I'm a little out of practice here, so these are not going to be the best. Next one is Emma Westwood. Ironically, a huge fan of Clint Eastwood, but surprisingly, not of the film Westworld. So I don't know. She's got geographic issues there. I don't know. She's like self-hating. West. I don't know.
And also, be prepared, Cody. There's a lot of new film historians in the back half of the month.
Oh,
boy. A lot. Like it's going to really, really be a lot.
Get your tome typing hand or scribing hand. Some good extra care this month for when you get this.
Yeah, I think the first half is okay, but the second half is lots of them. Okay, back to the extras. Still more grisly deleted scenes with optional audio commentary, theatrical VHS trailers, and an image gallery. And I'll let Brian take our pick of the week this week.
Yes, the pick of the week. This one, in all honesty, it could have been either or. Both of these are solid. But we tend to. I know we're kind of like. I guess we kind of have this inherent swerve towards when it's a Shout Factory release. And this one, I have the original version of this, not the 4K upgrade, but this would be worth it. It's Nightbreed in 4K from 1990. For those who don't know this movie, I don't know how, though, if you're a horror fan, it's a community of mutant outcasts of varying types and abilities attempt to escape the attention of a psychotic serial killer and redneck vigilantes with the help of a brooding young man who discovers them, based on Clive Barker's novel Cabal. So, of course, most horror fans know this movie well. Tim's a big fan of this one. This is a classic. Definitely worth the upgrade or purchase if you don't have any of the versions of it. I think this is something, if you're a horror fan, this is a must-have in your collection. It's got a good set here. It's got a disc 1 is 4K Blu-ray theatrical cut, new 4K restoration of the film. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray theatrical cut with the theatrical trailer. It's just a regular Blu-ray, basically what I have. From now on, it's like pretty much the is the same as the other version. But disc 3 is the Blu-ray director's cut, comes with an audio commentary with writer-director Clive Barker and restoration producer Mark Allen Miller. Tribes of the Moon, The Making of Nightbreed, a 72-minute documentary on the production. You got Making Monsters, a look at the special makeup effects. Fire, fights, stunts, a look at the second unit shoot. And then you got a 4th disc here of Blu-ray bonus features. So this is a 4-disc set. This is this has got to be automatic. I think this is what really pushed it over the edge for pick of the week. You get 4 discs here. This one is filled with deleted scenes, Monsters Prosthetic Masterclass, Cutting Compromise, the painted landscape, and matte painting test. Those are some features there. You got a makeup test special feature, stop motion lost footage, rehearsal test, and you got a still galleries, which has sketches, deleted scene photos, posters, and pre-production stills, on the set photos, and more. So that is a packed set. I mean, that's a 4-disc set. Whenever you get over 3 discs, you know they're not playing around there. So that's
I love the ones that have a disc that's nothing but features. The movie's not even on it. They just put features on it. That's awesome.
Right. Because that gives you that shows that is packed with stuff, and also shows you they didn't want to compromise the quality of the movie by adding it with features on it.
Yeah. So to recap, the week of August 1st, we had Razorback 4K and Nightbreed 4K, which was our pick of the week. All right, August 8th, again, another really short week, only 3 titles. The first one up here is from Kino Lorber. This is an interesting one. It's called Outrage from 1950.
This trailer.
Yeah, this trailer is crazy. A young woman who has just become engaged has her life completely shattered when she is raped while on her way home from work. So that was some heady subject matter for 1950.
Oh, I'm sorry. This was not the movie I thought it was. Oh, no, it was. This is the one with this is the one with William Shatner, right?
No. That's coming up next.
Oh,
week.
That's Impulse. Yeah. Sorry, I got
it.
Sorry.
This one's 1950.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I got the two confused.
Yeah.
See,
but this one still is pretty crazy though.
Yeah.
Because,
this wasn't the trailer I meant.
Matter.
This was just a pretty quick trailer, but it was still pretty heavy for 1950s.
Yeah. No special features on that one. Although, always check on these Kino Lorber titles and Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. If I don't list extras, it may be that they just haven't announced them yet. So there could be some on the disc that weren't listed in the disc details. Sometimes they release the features list very late.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, my pick of the week is the same as yours this week. I just for some reason didn't save it. But so it works out good. Next one is Massacre Videos, and I keep wanting to read this as Plan Sexual, but it's not. It's Plan Sexanal from 2014. It says a psychological thriller about a couple, an imposter, and the revolution. That sounds like the tagline already. It says people revolting and Juan and Mercedes celebrate with a handful of friends, ignoring the curfew. As the friends leave, Juan discovers and stranger. I'm reading. Remember, Tim, do not fool Tim for this. He just copies.
No, I don't spell check these things.
It says discovers an stranger prowling the house who is disturbing his wife. He decides to confront the stranger, who claims to know both and to have complete the plan. Yeah, okay, this is impossible to understand what they're saying here. As the night progresses, certainties become uncertain, and the revolution comes to their house. Okay, first of all, we apologize for this, but this trailer was all in Spanish, and it had no subtitles. So beyond that, even more confusing synopsis, the trailer I had no idea what was going on.
It was a bunch of people in a room talking and shoving each other. We don't know what's going on.
We have no idea. I should have brought Julie in. She understands Spanish pretty well. She might have caught that. I didn't catch any words because it was going fast and loud and yeah. But anyway, there are some special features on this. It's got the 2K master from the original 16mm negative, Spanish language audio commentary with director Santiago Sendejas, and stars Eduarda Girola and Harold Torres with optional English subtitles. Oh, there they put it. Where we needed it before for the trailer. We could have discussed this better. Behind the scenes of Plan Sexanal, short film Pianados Alocados. 2008. I'm sorry.
It sounds like a salad dressing.
It really does.
It really sounds delicious.
Sorry, we are probably butchering this poor film. It's probably a really good movie, and we're just killing it. It's got that short film on it. Stills Gallery original trailers for other Massacre video releases. Hopefully, that would be more informative for us.
That brings us to our pick of the week from RLJ Entertainment. This is one I've been really looking forward to seeing.
Does this look incredible?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear of this movie, and now I'm like, well, how did I not hear of this? This looks amazing.
Yeah, this looks great. The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. This was from 2023. Vicaria is a brilliant teenager who believes death is a disease that can be cured. After the brutal murder of her brother, she embarks on a dangerous journey to bring him back to life. So go check out the trailer for this one. I didn't see any extras on this one. RLJ Entertainment often releases just bare bones disc, but the movie for this one looks pretty incredible.
Yeah, it really does. The trailer is pretty good because it didn't really it was just like, not confusing is not the right word. Ambiguous enough to it didn't give anything away, even though it shows a lot. But you kind of get the vibe that she basically creates her brother's killer into this monster, and it looks like he almost becomes a monster trying to stalk her while she's trying to solve what happened. Either way, though, the trailer for this is so phenomenal. It looks so good. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't hear of this movie because it looks really fantastic, and it's it'll probably be on Shudder, I assume, right? Being RLJ Entertainment.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, so I'll have to look at get the Shudder schedule. It's probably gonna be on Shudder this month, I bet. I need to look up when this is gonna come out because I gotta see this. This looks really.
And I will
good.
tell you, I can't give anything away because I think we're still under embargo. But we got sent a screener for an Argentinian film. That the name escapes me right at the moment because I'm not looking at the rundown, but it was one of the best horror films I've seen this year.
That's right. Yeah, you were telling me about that one. I still have to see that.
Yeah, it is not out on Shudder yet. I don't think it's coming out for a little bit. Again, like I said, we're under embargo, so I'm kind of glad I forgot the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's incredible. Like, there's some good stuff coming to Shudder this year.
Yeah, and there's another movie that I have to check to see if we can even mention. We may mention it on our regular episode briefly, but I can't really talk much about it either because I don't know. We kind of got it, but we didn't really get any embargoed instructions. But it's at festivals now, so I assume it could be discussed somewhat. You'll hear more about that in our regular Summer Slaycation episode. I'll probably briefly touch on it.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff. We've gotten some excellent screeners recently. So to recap, the week of August 8th, we had Outrage from 1950, Plan Sexanal from 2014, and our pick of the week, RLJ Entertainment, The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster.
And that's unusual, actually, for that movie to be released on Blu-ray before it hits Shudder. It's usually the opposite. Usually Shudder will get it first, and then they'll release it. Yeah. Unless it's not a Shudder exclusive, maybe, and it's just.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up because I'm not sure what the status is of that one.
Yeah.
That brings us to August 15th. Now, this is more of a normal week. We had 11 releases this week, and these are the last ones we'll cover on this episode. I did want to say there is you remember a little while back that great movie Ghost Watch?
Oh, yeah.
Finally hit Blu-ray. Well, they're releasing a standard edition, which is a little bit more of I wouldn't say bare bones, but I think it's, it definitely has fewer extras than
Yeah, I bought that other version, that big version, because I wanted all the little extras to it, because it really is a revolutionary film. I mean, especially for all that you loved Host, that is one of Jed Shepard's inspirations. He's mentioned it a number of times and put some Easter eggs to Host in there. In Host from Ghostwatch, and this goes old school Civil Gore because Tim discussed this in our first season because it was on Shudder at one point, and Tim had watched it, and for a while you could only get it on like bootleg VHS tapes. Not bootleg, I should say, just out of print VHS tapes.
Yeah, it wasn't like exactly lost, but it was very hard to get your hands on.
Yeah. I actually am going to give credit to Jed, probably, because his discussion about it probably got enough buzz going about it that they felt it was time for a re-release of it, because I highly suggest you purchase this if you don't want to spend a little bit of extra. I mean, it wasn't even bad. I think it was like $30 for the special, the version that I bought. This is probably going to be closer to $20. It's worth every penny, regardless. It's very, especially if you love like those kind of it's definitely an early version of a found footage film, but if you love like things like The Last Broadcast or, even World of Worlds type of thing, you want to see this because this was a feat of its time for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, let's kick it off with this is the one Brian was referring to earlier, starring William Shatner. This is from Grindhouse Releasing, and it's called. This one has some AKAs.
Yeah, this is pretty much made for our Discmemberment here. Yeah. This whole thing.
So it's called Impulse, but it also has AKA I Love to Kill, AKA the super creepy title Wanna Ride, Little Girl.
But you have to say that one in like the Wanna Ride, Little Girl. You got to do it in Shatner's voice because he's like this. He's like a total creepy dude in this.
Yeah, he really is, and very sweaty, very sweaty.
Very sweaty. For a man that's like literally fought aliens. You figure just doing this job wouldn't have been as bad for him, but I don't know.
Of course, this came out in 1974, the year I was born, where they made all kinds of creepy, weird stuff.
Yeah.
I was a product of that era. So a paranoid,
Poor Tim.
A paranoid leisure suit wearing con man / gigolo named Matt Stone seduces lonely women, bilks them of their savings via an investment scam, then kills them. When he begins seeing an attractive widow, her daughter Tina becomes suspicious of his motives.
Was this about a former president? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. No.
Yeah, this one, man, you just got to see this trailer. It's Shatner at his Shatneriest.
Just put Shatner at his sweatiest. I just noticed you wrote this.
Yeah,
and I wrote a featuring an evil plaid-wearing Shatner.
Yeah, he's very sweaty in this.
Yeah, and he's got very
disturbingly sweaty.
He's got a very unique, like for a man that's literally worn like his famous role wore like one outfit almost 95% of the time. Like he goes through about 8 different outfits in this trailer alone.
Yeah.
Like he's got the plaids, he's got the weird like sleeveless striped t-shirt thing that
like you could feel the sheer determination for him to shake off being stereotyped as Captain Kirk. Like he was trying his darndest to break out of his mold. With this movie, like I'm gonna change costumes 15 times.
I know he's like, please give me something else to wear.
15 times.
Yeah, It's like I can't wear the same thing over and over. I need a new attire.
I'm not just a starship captain. So we have some special features here. New 4K restoration created from rare archival film elements. 2-disc set containing over 15 hours of bonus materials.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you want to sit here for 15 hours for bonus materials.
That's like movie, 9 versions of this movie. What is it? How long could this movie be that it required 15 hours of bonus materials?
I love this feature title: Kingdom of the Shatner.
Yeah.
William Shatner live in Santa Monica, October 9th, 2022.
I want to say that to me is what I want to buy this for because he does like. Remember, he used to do those like stand up like poetry slam things. He's like, and he did like songs and albums. Like this guy, I swear to God, is like the longevity of his career and the ways he goes. I mean, I still think one of his best roles has to be that one I keep wanting you to see, the Free Enterprise, where he basically plays himself, but like this outlandish version of himself. And so like, and then he does those like, all the different things, like he was doing Priceline commercials and like, like those cards, like e-cards and stuff.
Well, then he was the host of that show, like that paranormal show too. He did like one of those. He does everything. Yeah. Well, he's been to space now too, so
he's literally been to space. I mean, like the guy literally went into. It's like it's amazing. It's like if Arnold Schwarzenegger literally traveled back in time, to stop something, to kill somebody from saving the future. It's like he lived his dream. This dude.
A provocative, in-depth interview with director William Griffey.
That's such an in-joke that we told nobody about. But
I know,
but the people that need to know that will catch that and laugh.
Well, yeah, they'll catch that. Additional interviews with producer and makeup artist Doug Hobart, who did Flesh Feast and Scream Baby Scream, and art director Roger Carlton Sherman. Audio commentary by William Griffey. Haunting alternate French soundtrack. Hours of rare cinematic treasures from the vaults of William Griffey. I think he had a box set out that William Griffey got.
That sounds familiar.
It does. A glossy illustrated booklet with liner notes by acclaimed underground filmmaker Jacques Boireau. Beautifully embossed slipcover with new art by esteemed painter Dave LeBeau. Collectible postcard featuring original oil portrait of William Shatner.
If you ever wanted an oil portrait of William Shatner, think about it. This is the disc for you.
Still galleries, trailers, 2 bonus feature films that they don't even name. on here.
Oh, God.
They just threw them on there, and other surprises. So there's more.
Why was this not our pick of the week? Now that I'm looking at this,
I'm kind of disappointed. Now.
I think because maybe the creep factor turned us off. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I kind of glossed over it, but the more I read through it, I'm like, man, this sounds amazing.
I think I need to get this disc. I think I literally need to order this when we're done recording. But can you imagine, like, I want to go back to where there's the oil portrait. Can you imagine him, like, sitting for that? He's like, please don't use too many pastels. My left side is the best. You know? It's like,
oh, my God.
Well, you know, it took us how many years to finally start doing horrible William Shatner impressions? I mean, we did everybody else on the show at that time.
Yeah, you guys would just be glad we haven't done Dreyfus in a while.
Yeah, I know he's been silent, but don't worry, we're not bringing him back right now. He needs to stay where he is. Usually, I did more Sulu though, you know, like because I always think my favorite thing with Sulu is like right because he's got like such a deep recognizable voice, right? And like literally in Wrath of Khan, you know, when they're trying to on the sly put their shields up, you figure that would have been the one time that you don't need the guy with the deep booming voice to acknowledge the command that he's secretly getting, you know? I always laughed at that because he's like, lock phasers, Mr. Sulu. And he's like, phasers locked. Like, booming through the Enterprise, right into Khan's ears. But yet, nobody, like, I always just made me crack up. I don't know why. But yeah, no, George Takei, God rest, God bless him because he's the best. I love this guy. If you want great, like, just poignant commentary on life and humor, just follow him on every
He's
social
freaking
media.
hilarious.
He's like the best. He's a guy, like a bucket list person I want to meet.
Oh my God, yeah.
But anyway, and it's funny because we're skipping the pick of the week right now as we usually do. This actually blends right into the next thing. After that description of that movie, we go into Mill Creek's Entertainment, Nefarious, from 2023. This one actually, I've seen this advertised a lot. This one actually, the trailer looks really cool though. It says, on the last day of his scheduled execution, a convicted serial killer gets a last-minute court-ordered psychiatric evaluation. The killer surprises the psychiatrist with his claim that instead of trying to avoid his fate, he is in fact a demon who wants the execution to go forward, and further claims that before their brief time together is over, the doctor will commit 3 murders of his own. That is a cool plot point. You know, that's like okay, I'm gonna plead the insanity at the last possible minute kind of thing.
When I was watching this trailer, all I could think of was I bet Bruce Willis would be good for this role. Like he looked like a good Bruce Willis role.
It did. I mean, I wonder if like he was like if his health things weren't so prevalent. I mean, forcing him to retire like that. And when I heard that, and you start watching old like anything that Bruce Willis has done, you realize, wow, that is going to be a loss that he does no more movies because he's so good at everything: comedy, drama, action. I mean, what doesn't the guy do? But anyway, we digress. But yeah, this one looks really cool, interesting little plot there. Looks like very one of those isolated, where it like takes place really in like that room a lot. I wonder if it's gonna be most of the trailers in the that conversation room they're having there. It's got some decent special features, though. It's got a filmmaker commentary from the directors and the producer, cast commentary, Flannery and Belfi. That's all it says. That sounds like a cop team, but interview with an exorcist with Father Carlos Martins, Speak of the Devil, and nefarious Easter eggs. Now, are the Easter eggs nefarious? Like, are they like hard to like really sinister Easter eggs, or are they just about the movie?
Oh, I don't know. The next one up is from RLJ Entertainment. This is what I really want to see, which I did not know the first one even existed somehow. This is The Wrath of Becky from 2023. This is a sequel to Becky, which I didn't know anything about.
It's the one with Kevin James, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't, and I'm a big Lulu Wilson fan, and I didn't know anything about this movie until I saw the sequel coming out. 2 years after she escaped a violent attack on her family, Becky attempts to rebuild her life in the care of an older woman. But when a group of men break into their home, Becky must return to her old ways to protect herself and her loved ones.
Yeah, and it's you get an evil like Stifler, Sean William Scott in this.
Yeah, he looked good in this one.
Yeah, and you could tell by the plot point is very topical. With the way I won't give that away or make a but when you see the trailer you'll see what I mean, why these people are coming after her. And this now that Tim is a dog owner himself, you could see why this trailer you could like totally feel for her and get behind this character, because they basically steal her dog and she goes like old John Wick, which is awesome.
That's the John Wick motive right there. So
yeah,
no extras on this one, but that's kind of par for the course for RLJ.
Yeah. Next one, Cauldron Films. That's a great site, by the way, Cauldron Films. If you ever go on there, they release some really good stuff. They were the ones that released that haunting, the Possession de Altair, that one I've been screaming for everybody to watch if you're a found footage fan, because it's one of my top found footage movies of all time. It's just never streaming anywhere. It's unbelievable. And one place it's streaming is like, I think it's like Pluto TV. Like the Spanish version of Pluto TV, so I don't know if we can even get it. And also, it's on Canela, which is a Spanish-speaking streaming app, but they don't do subtitles. I think I saw a copy on YouTube that is also not subtitled, so it's really hard to find this. So this is, but anyway, not this film. This one is Frankenstein 80. Sorry, went over one of my famous tangents there. Yeah. I was just trying to speak the high volumes and praise I have for Cauldron Films for releasing good stuff. Anyway, this Frankenstein 80 from 1972, my birth year. So I don't know what that's telling about me. Tim gets creepy William Shatners, and I get monsters that are created in a lab. Is that trying to imply that I was a lab created person? I don't know. Some people may call me that, but anyway. This one is a mad scientist. Of course, you know the drill. Mad scientist creates a monster called Mosaico? I don't know.
Mosaico? It sounds like a hops.
I know. Like new with Mosaico hops, Frankenstein 80 from Budweiser. Right? Okay. Who breaks out? Anyway, the Mosaico who breaks out of the laboratory to hunt down and kill beautiful women. So it's just a spin on the typical Frankenstein monster. Looks really kind of good. I think I'll definitely give it a chance. It's got a new K restoration from the uncensored negative. Delilah Forever. Since the recorded memories of Delilah de Lazaro, 28-minute featurette there. Little Frankensteins, history of Italian Frankenstein filmed with Domenico Monetti. I think we've heard his name a bunch of times. It's got an audio commentary by film historian Heather Drain, who is a repeat. She's been there. She teams up with Kat Ellinger, though, for the Hell's Bells podcast. That is not made up. That's a real thing. She also has her own side gig, though, where she discusses careers that have faltered, and she calls it Down the Drain. So, one of my classic pun ones, of course. Anyway, it's also got a reversible Blu-ray wrap with alternative art. I can speak. Wrap with alternate artwork. Booklet, which is in the limited edition version only. So I think this is numbered, and I think after that you don't get the booklet. I think it's like 2,000 or something I saw. Reversible Blu-ray wrap with alternate artwork, and a high-quality slipcase with artwork by Justin Coffey. Limited edition only.
Yeah, I love his
Too bad he's not a film historian, because that would have been just easy to build a story for him.
I always want to think like just in time, Justin Coffey.
I know, right? Well, sometimes that coffee comes just in time, in those mornings when you don't get a good night's sleep.
The next one up, this one looks creepy. From Unearthed Films, August Underground from 2001. Two serial killers go on a murdering rampage as one films the outcome from behind a video camera. This is a very ultra realistic found footage serial killer, sort of like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, but
it's really bad, probably purposely bad quality VHS.
Yeah, it looked very, very creepy. Has a new audio commentary by actor-director Fred Vogel and Ultraviolent Magazine's Art Ettinger. New 10 Questions with Fred Vogel. New Toe Tag Masterclass from Storyboard to Screen. New Dave Parker interviews Fred Vogel. An introduction by director Fred Vogel. Audio commentary by Fred Vogel. This is a drinking game, by the way.
Yeah.
You take a shot every time I say Fred Vogel.
Speaking of drinking game, just listen to our Howling episode.
Yes. With actors Aaron Labonte and Ben Labonte. Audio commentary by The Killer. Audio commentary by actor-director, guess who? Fred Vogel.
Yay!
Hammer to the Head, a closer look at August Underground. August Underground on location. August Underground behind the brutality. August Underground, Too Real for Comfort, an outsider's perspective. Photo gallery and trailers. Wow.
Do you think they waited purposely till August to release this, though? Just to have more,
possibly.
Synergy with this? Oh. Next one is, this one's an odd one. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
I have not either, yeah.
But it's by VCI. It's called Journey into the Beyond from 1972. Another one of my birth year movies. Another telling thing about my deranged head, I guess. The Journey into the Worlds of Supernatural. It's got really nothing else, but it's kind of got this, Tim said, had a good point. That was the other thing I was thinking of. It's like In Search of meets Faces of Death kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like one of those... like Mondo Kane and all those weird movies they did back in the 70s that were part documentary, pseudo documentary weirdness. Yeah.
And it's got really that cool voice though in the trailer. It's, where it's like, you will. The best was like the line or something at the end. It's like, you will get all the answers to the questions you asked, or something like. I don't know. I said I felt like saying I don't know if I asked about a guy pulling a guy's eyeyeball out. I don't know. I don't think I asked that. Anyone that knows me knows I would not ask to see that. But okay.
I love those weird 70s things like that though. Next up from RLJ Entertainment, which is really like kicking it here this month with releases. From Black from 2023.
We got the screener for this one too. I just never got to watch it. It came out before I could watch it, and it was already on Shudder.
A recovering drug addict desperate for closure and saddled by crushing guilt after the disappearance of her young son is presented with a bizarre offer to learn the truth about what happened and set things right, if she is willing to pay a terrifying price. How dark is she willing to go for a chance at redemption? This one looks really cool though.
Yeah, no, it does, and it's got a good trailer where it doesn't get it gives you just enough to get you intrigued again, but doesn't give much away. For those, it stars Anna Camp, from Pitch Perfect fame. Who she's really talented though. I've seen her do some other stuff other than goofy, silly comedy stuff, and she's actually really good.
Yeah,
really good
I like her a lot.
Yeah. Next one is Uncork Entertainment. Yeah, I know that's what we need. We need to get on board with like Fox and the Foxhound and get one of those roadcaster things so we can make those sound effects. Because every time Uncorked Entertainment, we can go. Yeah. And this one is Cold Moon from 2017. In a sleepy southern town, the Larkin family suffers a terrible tragedy, and that's all you're getting, including features too, because there's no features either. But it looks actually really good though.
The acting was really good in this one.
Yeah,
I thought it looked really, really well done.
Yeah, I feel like it's like you wrote that you're surprised you never heard of this one. I'm wondering because there's so many that are close, like Something Else Moon or Cold Harvest or whatever. What was that Nicole Kidman one? Cold Country. There's so many like it's just very basic titles, so it might have looked at it and just subconsciously thought it was something we've seen. Just
kind of overlooked it. I can't believe I'm getting this next one because I saw the first one of these and it was really very low budget. This is from Jeff Whitmire would love this.
He's probably already seen it.
He's probably already seen it.
Written a song for it.
This is from Wild Eye Releasing. It's Ouija Shark 2, not to be confused with Ouija Shark 1. This one came out last year. When the Ouija Shark emerges from hell to cause havoc once more on Earth, a sorcerer with a history of fighting the ghostly Great White must follow it into a multiverse hellscape for one final battle. Now, as I'm reading this, I'm kind of warming up to it. But this time he is bringing along some friends to help send the shark into oblivion. There is a lot of extras on this for this type of movie.
Yeah.
Commentary with director John Migliore. North American premiere Q&A, Japanese theatrical Q&A, Japanese theatrical interview. I can't believe this was released in the theater.
I know.
Japanese promo videos, Japanese Christmas message, France theatrical promo, behind-the-scenes image gallery, stills gallery, deleted scene, alternate take trailers, and 2 Blu-ray exclusives, a folded poster and a slipcover. Wow. Okay. Well, good for them, though. I mean, they're putting out a kind of a kick-ass Blu-ray there for them.
You know what I have to say? I think, how we're always saying we want to be on a commentary somewhere, on a Blu-ray disc somewhere. You know who deserves it, really? Jeff Whitmire, man. That guy, especially because I got my Stabby Road thing. I mean, I'll talk about this more. I have some plans to really go over, I don't want to, rush the discussion of that album, but just briefly, when I say that guy works so hard on his stuff that, one of these movies that he writes a song for, he totally needs to be appearing on one of these Blu-rays. He needs to be as a bonus feature on half of these things he writes.
Or at least have his song as an extra,
Yeah.
If he makes a song for it, it should be an extra on there.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Awesome. They have music videos on Blu-rays all the time.
Yeah, and Jeff Whitmire literally, I don't even think people realize his stuff. Sometimes it'll get people to watch the movie he writes the song about because they want to see what what the movie's like. And he's got what obviously reminded me of it because he did the shark theme song on on all the different basically to We Didn't Start the Fire. He did the whole shark movie song, and which was brilliant. I managed the way he got all those movies in. But yeah, so anyway, so anyone for the powers that be, you know what? I will gladly take second choice for a thing to get him into one of these Blu-rays. I'd love to see. I want to see a day where I buy a Blu-ray and a special video from Jeff Whitmire in there.
Yes, that would be awesome. All right,
mine's the final one here before the pick of the week. And this is from Rising Sun Media, and it's Eyes of Dread. It says, what Nina saw in that building, in that basement, was too horrible to mention. Yet the people of the building really seem to need to know what she saw. That's how she disappeared. After 13 months, her body is still missing, and the general opinion is that she is dead. But when her sister Anna arrives in the city where Nina lived, with the hope and belief that her sister is still alive, the search for the truth behind the disappearance begins. That is when Anna's nightmares start to get more and more meaningful, as if they want to tell her something about her sister's mystery. And the more things that are unraveled, the more it becomes clear that there are very dangerous forces involved. Forces that will do anything to keep the secrets concealed.
All I can think of when you said unraveled is the scene in God bless Paul Rubens, R.I.P. But the scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's like someone's unraveling a big cable knit sweater, and somebody keeps knitting and knitting.
Oh yeah, knitting and knitting. Yeah, we Tim and I have plans to honor. Of course, you know that like Pee Wee Herman was a big. We were big fans of him, and we've mentioned the movie, and Fruit Please has been like a thing forever. So we plan to honor him by doing like a watch at some point of Pee-wee's Big Adventure that we've always talked about doing, and now it's kind of sad that we're doing it posthumously for him, but we definitely want to do that, do something special. But did you see, by the way, what they did where they painted the dinosaur from the movie?
Yeah,
like,
that was amazing.
How cool was that? And like one of the most like touching things I saw was he's very close to Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, and she posted like this 5-minute message he sent her on her birthday one time. It's just, you see what a good person the guy was, and of course you're gonna make the jokes about his incident. But that is such a small blip on like such an epic career and like such a small like little wrinkle in the fabric of what this guy really was and what he meant to people. So hopefully people will not keep
I saw
bringing that stupid thing up.
Conan O'Brien did on his podcast did a tribute to him, because same thing with him. He would send these messages to people on their birthday, and and Conan was like, even if he like barely knew you, he would find your birthday out, and then like on your birthday, he had everybody's birthday in his calendar, just about that you'd ever met, and he would send them messages, or he'd send them funny memes or whatever. And he said the fact that he would go out of his way to take the time to do that for everybody was just a testament to what kind of a person he was. So
yeah, and it's like funny because everyone's posting all these things, and there's things I don't even remember him doing. Like there was a thing where he did this scene where he was involved in one of the WWE.
Yeah,
and he had something with the Miz where he like told that before he came out or something, he said a secret word is or something, and then he did it, and like the Miz said it, and he did the whole secret word thing, just like and then he had this little like back and forth with The Rock, which was freaking hilarious. So like that's a good thing if you follow on Instagram, literally like almost. You know how many accounts we follow that has a story that they've been posting about him? That just shows it. Like, look at how many people like and even loved him.
Like a week later, like normally, like a celebrity dies and you'll hear all the things like for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like I'm still getting things in my feed about Paul Rubens. Like like stories of people posting pictures with him, and like a week later they're still posting this stuff.
Yeah, and that was like my best friend Mark and I, who I mentioned on the show a bunch of times. We one of our first like things that we had like that we would always laugh at together was that original HBO special he did years ago, back in the 80s. It was just the Pee Wee Herman show. It was just an hour-long thing, but it was basically the template of what his Saturday morning show was, what became. And it had like these little funny like little videos in it, and it was such an epic show, and it had like all the the original people playing those characters, like Miss Yvonne and Phil Hartman as oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Oh shoot, what was the character he played?
Oh my, I'm like, if you hadn't asked me, I would have just told you right off the bat. And
Captain Carl. Sorry,
Captain Carl. Yes.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Cowboy Curtis, although it's not.
I know that, but that's Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. I got. That's why I was like, for some reason, he was stuck in my head, and I'm like, no, that's not him. He's and then I met Captain Carl. So yeah, it was in John Paragon, who was mentioned a lot in the Elvira book as as he was a big. And it's funny, you notice they were in John Paragon was in UHF with Weird Al Yankovic.
Mm-hmm.
He played like the son of Kevin McCarthy's character, and like it's like all those people, but Elvira mentions them all in her book and stuff. But yeah, when you look at the cast that he was associated with back then too, I know we kind of went way off topic there. I don't know how did we get there from this Eyes of Dread movie? What?
Because the unraveling.
Big adventure. This time Tim sent us off on the tangent. But yeah, anyway. But we'll do it. We should almost do like a special just episode on Pee Wee Herman when we do the commentary thing one day. Yeah. We do like a watch along or something fun like that.
Yeah, we need to do that like sooner so we don't forget about it. Like I don't want to forget about it.
Yeah, no. I figured like in between. You know how we always have that time in between the Slaycation and the Halloween season. There's always like we'll just throw in a bonus episode of that. I think should be easy to do. Anyway, so yeah, like Tim said, this is one of those really low budget movies where it looks like it helps because it's kind of like a Megan is Missing type of deal.
Yeah.
It's actually on Tubi now, so if you want to check it out first before decide if you want to own this in your collection. It is on Tubi, so you can look. I think it's Tubi and Plex. It's on both of those. Anyway, there's also a bonus short film on here, Phantoms of Fire, and cast and crew interviews.
Nice. Okay, well that brings us to our pick of the week, and this one, I love this set of movies. These are the Fulci Living Dead kind of series. This one again is from Cauldron Films, City of the Living Dead 4K from 1980. This one I may really have to pick up. The seven gates of hell have been torn open. A reporter and a psychic race to close the portals of the damned. Disc 1 is the 4K Blu-ray. It has a 4K restoration of the film. Seamless branching, so you can watch in English language with English credit sequences and watch the Italian language with the Italian credit sequences.
Oh, that's
pretty cool. New audio commentary by critic Sam Deegan. Archival audio commentary by critics Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson.
They were all critics back then.
So I didn't list them. I didn't point them out because they've been downgraded to critics. Archival audio commentary by actress Catriona McCall, moderated by Jay Slater. Archival audio commentary by actor Giovanni Lombardo Radici, moderated by Callum Waddell. Disc 2 is a Blu-ray but has the same extras as Disc 1. Disc 3 is a Blu-ray with over 5 hours of new and archival extras. You got Zombie Kings, interview with Massimo Antonello Galing. Requiem for Bob, interview with Giovanni Lombardo Radici. On Stage, Q&A with Valentino Valentini, which is a great name, and Ruggero Deodato. You've
that's
very
cool.
heard a lot on this show. Catriona McCall, Q&A. Fabio Frizzi, Q&A. The Meat Munching Movies of Gino De Rossi. Carlo of the Living Dead, an archival interview with actor Carlo De Mayo. A whole De Mayo. A trip through... It might be Mayo. I don't know.
It's probably Mayo, but
I think German, not Spanish. And J's and Germans are all Y's. A trip through Bonaventure Cemetery. Catriona McCall video intro 2001. Image gallery. Double-sided Blu-ray wrap with artwork by Matthew Therian and more archival extras and other surprises. So that was.
By the way, just Tim, I did a little research. You know that the 5 hours of new and archival extras, 4 of those hours are leftovers from that William Shatner disc that couldn't fit.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Buy them together.
So you need to buy both to get the complete thing.
All right, so to recap the week of August 15th, we had Impulse, a.k.a. I Love to Kill, a.k.a. Wanna Ride, Little Girl, 1974, William Shatner. That was terrible. We had Mill Creek Entertainment, Nefarious, sequel to Becky, The Wrath of Becky, Frankenstein 80, August Underground, Journey into the Beyond, From Black, Cold Moon, Ouija Shark 2, Eyes of Dread, and our pick of the week, 1980 City of the Living Dead, Fulci classic. And that will wrap up our first half of the August Discmemberment. We'll be back with another slew of titles on August 22nd to round this month out. I was kind of surprised that August was this big, but apparently they're not holding back.
Yeah, so Vinegar Syndrome just bombarded us.
And September is usually pretty big too, and October is really big. So I don't think we're going to get a break on the Discmemberments here.
No, and the worst part is that those Vinegar Syndromes at the end are a lot of them I want.
Yeah, and they also have a lot of extras, so they make these Dismemberments long. So we will see you back here August 22nd for the second half, guys, and stay tuned for our regular episode, which we're about to record right now.
Yes, but you're not going to hear it until the next day.
Nope. All right. Take care, guys. See you later.
See ya.